Abigail Spanberger has to give us something to vote for, not just vote against. Chris Graham, Augusta Free Press here. I have had it up to wherever you can say with Virginia Democrats telling me several times a day about everything that Winsome Earle-Sears does wrong. The main issue for me here being they never tell me what the person I want to vote for governor, Abigail Spanberger, does right. And she does a lot right. They just don't hype it, if you ask me. And I'm somebody who gets multiple emails a day. I'm a news reporter, so I get all the press releases, all the statements and everything else, and it just seems so negative. Um, and I think this is just, kind of a symptom of what Democrats do these days. Me being a Democrat, so I'm being critical of us here since 2015 when Donald Trump made the little trip down the escalator, right? We're one for three in presidential elections, running against him. Here in Virginia, we're one for two in gubernatorial elections, running against him. The only thing we've really got on our side is that in 2018, our side won the midterms. Um, but outside of that, this approach of let's just say everything bad we can say about Donald Trump, it just doesn't work. Um, and even our win just got us the one win we got here in Virginia, at least with Ralph Northam, got us a goofy guy in the governor's mansion that we all wanted to resign because of the blackface scandal. Terry McAuliffe bumbled his way into losing to Glenn Youngkin, a very mid-range candidate to say the least on the Republican side in 2021. He ran as the inevitable winner, which had worked so well for Hillary Clinton in 2008 and 2016. I mean, it's just like we don't tell people what we want to do, and there's so many things that we need to do. Um, all we do is say we're not Donald Trump, and here we are again 4 years later in Virginia, and we're doing the same thing. It feels like to me, Abigail Spanberger's team is just telling us what Donald Trump's doing wrong, Glenn Youngkin's doing wrong, Winsome Earle-Sears is doing wrong. What I'll point out numbers wise is that Glenn Youngkin won in 2021, not because he got more people to vote for him than had voted for Donald Trump in Virginia the year before. In fact, he got 300,000 less votes in 2021 than Donald Trump got in Virginia in 2020. He won because Terry McAuliffe got 800,000 fewer votes than Joe Biden did in Virginia in 2020. He didn't energize, Terry McAuliffe didn't energize our voters, didn't give us a reason to go out and vote. And I know people can say, well, but you should go vote because you should go vote. Um, a lot of people are turned off politics. Let's just say it that way. In this most recent election cycle in 2024 at the national level, Donald Trump is claiming a mandate. There are 245 million adults who can vote in this country. 160 million voted. So when you look at it, Donald Trump's, he didn't even get 50% of those who did vote. It was like 49.8, so it was very close. But when you add in all the people who didn't vote, is 32.7% of the American population voted for of the American adult population voted for Donald Trump last year. People need reasons to go out and vote, and so many people are turned off by everything that you can go out there and tell people. You got to give people reasons to say, I need to go vote for this person because they're going to materially change my life for the better. We're not doing that. All we're doing, again, is it seems like to me, is telling folks what the other side does wrong. That can reinforce maybe I just shouldn't go vote for anybody. The lesson from all this to me should be you've got to give people a reason to vote for you, and you know that includes I've been a city Democratic Party chair here in Waynesboro for 3 years back in 2008, 2010. I had arguments with people above me in the chain that more than just voting, people will put a sign in their yard. And I was told by the Obama people, somebody putting a sign in their yard, not a big deal to us. Well, it's a big deal to people out here in this part of Virginia to put a Democrat sign in their yard where a lot of their neighbors don't. Um, Sign in the yard is the first step to me. It's kind of it's the gateway drug. Then they might tell their friends and family, hey, I'm going to vote for this person because of this. They might volunteer at the local party headquarters. They might go knock on doors. To do it's more than just voting. It's getting a person to do all those other things to put in their front yard a sign that their neighbors might not like, but they're putting their foot down. Then they're telling their friends and family. Then they're going out and knocking on doors. They're doing all these things. You know, to get a person that energized, you got to give them a positive reason to want to do that. People were struggling to make ends meet before the big ugly bill that just passed and got signed into law. Now millions of people are going to lose their access to health care, to food security. Millions more who have long been a car accident or extended illness away from getting hopelessly behind on their bills won't have a safety net anymore. Caps on student loan debt aren't issues for their children. The children of the 1%, they're concerns of ours. Affordable housing is not a concern for the 1%. They get huge tax breaks and they don't care. They're worried about their second and third house, not their first house. We get it. I mean, I get it. The other side's responsible for where we are right now, but Abigail Spanberger's got to tell us what she's going to do to get us back on the right track. And please tell us more than I'm just against what they're doing. Ralph Northam did the same thing. Terry McAuliffe did the same thing. Honestly, Joe Biden did the same thing. Somehow he won in 2020. Kamala Harris tried to do some more things, but eventually got kind of pulled back to, I'm just not Donald Trump. Politics seems to most people to just be two groups of rich people fighting amongst themselves for the ability to control which one of them gets a bigger piece of the pie. And I can't argue against that. I really can't. I mean, I've been a politically minded person since I was 5 years old. And because I grew up in a tough situation and I think politics is a way to make life better. A lot of people don't think that. Um, Voting for Abigail Spanberger has to be about more than having our person in office who won't do anything to fix things, as opposed to having the other person in office who won't do anything to fix things. If what we're getting now is what we can hope for, we're doomed, if you ask me. And a final note on this: stop asking me for money. Do something first. Earn my money. Earn my vote. Earn me putting my feet on the ground to support you.